Gostaria de convidar a presidente da North American Sport Library Network, a NASLIN, a doutora Gretchen Ghent, para participar da mesa, a doutora Rosemeire Rocha Pinto, da Biblioteca Virtual em Saúde, BIREME, Brasil, e a doutora Yara Maria de Carvalho, do Colégio Brasileiro de Ciências do Esporte. Eu queria propor que a ordem de apresentação fosse a ordem de chamada à mesa. Então, convidaria a doutora Gretchen para que começasse a sua exposição.
Thank you very much. I'd like to focus on the development of the North American Sport Library Network and a few of the products and conferences that we have held over the past. Some of you will have a sheet that is a short description and history of our network. I'm sorry I didn't bring quite enough, but if more are required, Lercio should let me know and I can provide them. The North American Sport Library Network began in around 1985. A few of us at the universities had access to email at that time. We had other activities going on in Canada. The Sport Information Resource Center was producing the Sport Discus database, and Gilles Chasson, who was then president of CIRC, was one of our people that many of us had contact with. Also in Los Angeles, after the 1984 Los Angeles Games, the Amateur Athletic Foundation was established as a legacy project of the Games with a goal of establishing a comprehensive library on Olympic and other materials, and of course focusing on youth sports. So the librarian from there, Dr. Wayne Wilson, and a number of other people that we have had contact, we got together first by email, and then decided in 1989 to hold a conference that was hosted by the Amateur Athletic Foundation. Since then, we've established goals of collaboration, dissemination, cooperation in the area of sport information. We have established a newsletter in 1993, I'm sorry, where we publish 2 issues a year. And at first, of course, it was a newsletter of just news of what was happening in various special libraries, special sport libraries. But we also thought it'd be a good idea to include new books, new periodicals, new databases, any other information that would be of interest to a sport or physical education or sport sciences librarian. So the question, though, is how did we get from a group of about 10, 15 people to a network of about 350? We're fortunate in the United States and Canada that we have a very comprehensive directory called Peterson's Guide to Graduate Programs. And through this, you can search by various categories. So they list all the programs where you have masters or PhDs in physical education, in sport administration, and sports medicine. So with this list, I was able to compile a master list of about 420 institutions where there was a master's or PhD program. And In the early 1990s, many libraries were starting to build their websites. So by the mid-90s, we were able to use a meta search engine. Yahoo at the time was one of my favorites. And of course, Google has surpassed Yahoo, I think, in some respects. And we were able to go to the university library website, and in many cases, they listed the librarians and their subject responsibilities. So it was very easy to find the email address of many of the librarians. So then, of course, the next step was to send a message that included a short description of NASLIN, what we did, and of course asking their permission to be included in the distribution list. And of course, by the mid-90s, we were publishing the newsletter in electronic form. So this is how the network started to build, and every year, especially in the summertime, I'd spend a number of hours trying to find additional librarians and send messages, and this is how it grew to about 350 people who are on our network right now. So this was one rather easy way, although it's time-consuming, to identify librarians and information specialists who were interested in the subject of sport. Now, along with this, once we had established our distribution list, we also, of course, had conferences at about 18-month intervals, and many of our institutional members supported our conferences. We went to the National Collegiate Athletic Association headquarters. We went to the United States Olympic Committee headquarters. The Sport Information Resource Center hosted us one year. We also went to the Nike campus in Beaverton, Oregon. They hosted one of our conferences. So we've been very lucky in our larger corporate sponsored members to host our conferences. So this is how we have developed our network, and now the people find out about us and of course can communicate with me and ask to be added to the distribution list. And of course, we've established now our own website that is with our own domain name, and it's of course hosted by the Sport Information Resource Center in Ottawa, which of course supports the IASI website as well. So basically, that's how we got started and how we identified individuals, and it's been most gratifying to have a larger network in both Canada and the United States. Thank you. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Acho que nós deixamos as questões para o período posterior à apresentação de todos os integrantes da mesa. Ok? Então, convidaria